Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, December 19th, 2014. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. The next time we talk to you on Monday, it will be winter, finally. Well, it's good to start a news broadcast with an old-fashioned natural catastrophe event. Volcanoes. A volcano in eastern Indonesia erupted this morning. It spewed towering clouds of hot ash into the air, about 15,000 feet. It also sent a group of hikers scrambling for safety. 6 of them fell down the volcano and were seriously injured. This was called Mount Gamalama. It's on Ternate Island in North Maluku province. It closed the airport in Ternate, about 20 miles away. It's one of about 129 active volcanoes in Indonesia. The last major eruption was in 2012. So we'll see what this does to air traffic in that area. If it continues to rumble throughout the weekend, volcanic ash and dust and things could in fact cause some delays, so we'll see. Earlier this week, I should say, the U.S. Congress failed to reauthorize the TRIA bill, the Terrorist Risk Insurance Act, which will now expire on December 31st. Chief Executive Officer of ACE Insurance, Evan Greenberg, has described the Congress as irresponsible for adjourning without renewing the program to backstop terrorist insurance losses. He said congressional failure to approve the renewal of TRIA is deeply disappointing. It's simply irresponsible for our elected officials to adjourn without reauthorizing the law. By letting TRIA lapse, they have exposed our economy to the threat of severe economic uncertainty in the event of a significant act of terrorism. I sincerely hope this is the first order of business for the new Congress. Well, good luck with that. There's a horrible tragedy that occurred in Australia earlier today. Australian police are investigating the deaths of 8 children who apparently were stabbed to death in a home in the northern city of Cairns. The children were aged between 18 months and 15 years old. This is a tough time for Australia. In the beginning of the week, of course, there was the hostage situation in Sydney, which resulted in the deaths of 2 people. Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott released a statement calling the deaths an unspeakable crime. He said that the nation is facing trying days indeed. Our hearts go out to our friends in Australia. Federal investigators have concluded that the fire last week that consumed a downtown Los Angeles apartment complex under construction and then destroyed parts of the 101 highway was in fact arson. This was the fire that obliterated a 7-story building of the Da Vinci apartment complex. It took 250 firefighters 90 minutes to put the flames out. The flames which rose to heights higher than many downtown office buildings. If you see some of the footage on television on the internet, it's actually quite astounding. Damage was estimated to be in the tens of millions of dollars. Authorities are now looking for 2 potential witnesses who were present at or near the scene of the fire. One is seen in a surveillance video calmly walking down the street before the start of the fire. The second was captured on freelance news footage after the fire is in full force, and he appears to be trying to get through a construction fence to go into the burning building. As of yet, investigators have not identified either man. Well, it seems as if those protests in Hong Kong might have had something positive come out of them. A Hong Kong jury today found a billionaire property developer and a former top government official guilty of corruption. The property magnate, Thomas Kwok, was convicted of conspiracy for making a $1 million payment to a city official. At the time of the offenses, the official was the number 2 person in the Hong Kong government. He was found guilty of charges of misconduct and conspiracy to commit misconduct. The corruption scandal has shocked the southern Chinese financial center, where residents have traditionally revered the city's tycoons. Well, it may just be that the people on the jury subliminally received some messages from the protests. In response to the horrible tragedy earlier this week at the school in Peshawar, Pakistan, that left 122 students dead, Pakistani jets and ground forces killed 67 militants in the northwestern tribal region near the Afghan border. Meanwhile, a Pakistani prosecutor said that the government is going to try to cancel the bail granted to the man who is the main suspect in the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attacks. This is a decision that was announced yesterday that has outraged India and called into question Pakistan's commitment to fight terrorism. The public prosecutor said he's appealing to the High Court to cancel the bail. The man in question, an individual named Zaki Lakvi, has been undergoing interrogation and a closed trial. No one quite knows what's going on. However, if he's been granted bail, presumably it means that not much is going on. But it seems as if the Pakistani government, which is usually tone deaf to complaints coming from India, is in fact going to respond. So this may be the beginning of a shift over there in so far as how they're treating the Taliban. Two seismic events of some note. A 5.5 magnitude quake struck off Japan's coast Friday evening at 5:49 p.m. It was not one that caused a tsunami. It was about 40 miles south of the city of Numuro and some distance away from Tokyo, about 570 miles north-northeast. Meanwhile, this is interesting, there was a 4.3 earthquake off the coast of Eureka, California. No reports of any damage or injuries, but the last time I checked, the San Andreas Fault runs right near that area. That fault, of course, runs directly down through San Francisco and down into the Los Angeles Basin area. On the Sony hacking attack, yesterday the news was fairly clear. It seemed that North Korea was the main perpetrator. Now, according to headlines in the United States, the net has widened and Iran may be in the mix. So it takes a while to track back all these jumps and skips on the internet, so that news is not yet ready to be released. Have a very good weekend. Next time we'll see you will be winter. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday.